What is good, y'all, man? How y'all doing, guys? Welcome back to Sheer Thoughts. As always, we always appreciate you guys being here. As you already know, it's your boy Chuck's here. It's good to be here, man. It's good. It's a good day. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be good vibes. Um,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and as you guys see, we of course here with the Miss Lovely, Stunning, Wonderful Sony Panda. What's going on, girl? How you doing?
We're good. We're good. How you doing? How you doing, Chucks?
I'm chilling, except for it's a little upsetting as we can notice something looks a little different today. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a fun thing. Sadly, I'm not wearing nylons today. Obviously, I really wanted to. I love to, as everyone knows. Um, but sadly, I'm really annoyed because the fact that for anyone who doesn't know, I work with dogs. So, of course, working with dogs, things happen, mistakes happen, accidents happen. And I was playing with one of the dogs outside the other day, and he had very sharp nails. And I was like kind of running around with him, joking around, and it's just like the way he landed with his nail, and it's you know what it is, bro. It's one of those things where you're like, bro, like the way everything worked out, like how, like it was the most craziest thing.
Yeah.
It was like the way I turned, the way he jumped into me, the way his paw caught me. It like caught my pant
Um,
leg and then just scratched me right down my leg, and I was like, ow, like, and like because at first I was like, oh, I obviously felt him rip the pants. So then I was like, oh, what the hell? Like, I was like, oh, damn, now my pants are ripped or whatever. And then like very shortly after, I'm like, ah, why does it sting? And I go like this, and there's just blood in my hand. And I was like, ow, bro. Yeah. So I was like, what the hell? So he cut me like not terribly, but he cut me enough that I was like, oh, like so. I
oh
definitely have like a
no.
tiny little bit of a scar, and it like definitely hurt. So I was bleeding a little bit. I had to put some Neosporin. I had to clean it. So I was like, oh, so it's healing. Like, thankfully, I didn't have to get stitches or anything
Oh,
like
thank
that.
God.
But it hurt. It should hurt, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That should hurt. I was like, ow, dude.
And
So I have a very annoying line like right here. So it's very and he caught me good because
yeah.
it's like here. It's like this long. Like it's yeah. I was like, oh shit. Like he caught me. I
Damn.
was like, he caught me pretty good. So thankfully, it's not really hurting. It's like, like I said, it thankfully wasn't too deep. When did this happen? I think this happened like Friday. Saturday. It was Friday, so it happened Friday. So it's been like a few days now. Um, but I was worried because then on Saturday I was like, oh, I was like, it feels like warm to the touch, because it was. And then when they
Yeah.
say that, that means it could be like an infection or something. But it was just healing because it was just he caught me good, and I was like, oh, I was just like, damn, bro. And of course, like the owner felt terrible. They were like, oh my god, are you okay? And I was like, I'm good. I was like, it's fine. I'll just, you'll hear from my lawyers. It's not a big deal. Imagine, could
Can
you
you
imagine?
imagine?
Could you
Can
imagine, bro?
you
Like,
imagine?
just have a great day. Like, just finish off the most
Yeah.
positive note possible.
Oh
But yeah,
my
sadly,
Lord.
I'm not rocking any nylon. So next week I will. Next week I know I'll be feeling better because, like I said, it's healing good. So, which is
Oh, good.
nice. But I was gonna say, Miss Sony, what are we rocking today? Because you look a little elegant today. I don't know, like, girls, you ready to like you go to the ball or something? I don't know what ball we're going to, but we're going. I don't know what it is. So
Yeah, no, no. You know what? I've not like worn this dress in so long. I was like, oh, do you know what? Be a vibe today.
the
But yeah,
podcast
no.
is a good reason to. Yes.
Yes, of course, of course. So yes, I'm doing like ode to my hold me up. So these are the Chocoholic
Okay.
20 hold
Okay.
me ups because
Fire. Fire.
obviously now they've been discontinued. So yeah, so today I was like, do you know what? Let's just one final time. Let's bring them out to play.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say the fit looking fire though. You're looking real fresh, girl.
Thank you, man.
Fit
Thank
looking
you,
dope. Fit
man.
looking dope. But let's get into it. Sonia, I have a question for you.
Mm, go
Um,
for it.
it's funny because we'll get into it, but of course we asked you guys if you guys have any embarrassing stories, anything you want to share that like you're okay with sharing. Of course we won't share like names or whatever, but if you have any embarrassing stories that you ever wanted to share, we would like love to read them, talk about them, just because then it's like at the end of the day, like, bro, I never judge anyone. I'm always the type where it's like, listen, everyone has their own bullshit, everyone goes through their own things. um
Mm-hmm.
but it's always great to hear a good story. That's one thing I always agree on. So, and embarrassing stories,
Yep.
especially once you're past them, you can always laugh at them, you can always laugh it off, which is always great. But before we get into apparently a couple stories that we got from what Sony told me today,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you have any embarrassing story that you would share, Sony? Because I think I have one. I think I have one that like is quite embarrassing for me. That I'm like okay with sharing, but I was just like, oh god, dude, like it's so stupid. Like when you think about these things later, you're like,
Yeah.
oh god, dude, it
Yeah.
was terrible. It was so terrible.
Yeah. Um, do you know what? I think I've got a few, but there's one I'm happy sharing though.
Okay.
Like, it's one like I could definitely laugh about now, but you best believe,
In that
like,
moment, oh,
I was so red. I've never been so red. So, I'll try and keep the story as short as possible, right? So
mm,
basically, um, so obviously dressed up really nice pair of tights on and whatever, right? Gone into town, doing my so this was back in the day. So like every Saturday I would go shopping,
mm,
just pick up whatever, whether it's mooching or actually buy something. But I used to go into town a lot, right? And I remember one time, oh, I can't remember how old I was. It might come to me after, right? Um, I'm walking, right, and there's this like, there's a group of guys. Like, don't get me wrong, they were good looking guys, yeah. But I was like, nah, I keep myself to myself. I'm like in my zone, in my shopping zone. I'm on it, ready to burn a hole in my card. Yeah, yeah. And they like, it was really weird because one guy right at the back, he kept like pointing, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? I didn't think anything to it. I wasn't going to chat to them like because you're pointing. So I was like,
yeah, yeah.
Forget it. Anyway, so then I was like, right, okay, cool. Then another, so I didn't think about it, right? Didn't think about it after. Then I was sitting down for lunch, right? And there was this guy. So once again, yeah, all right, sugar daddy looking guy, and eating my lunch, chomping away, blah blah. Oh my god! So he keeps looking over and he keeps like looking down at my legs. What's he doing? And he just like, and every time he caught me looking, he would look away. So I'm like,
Oh, okay.
really weird, Jess. I was like, okay, right, cool. Happened a few times. And I'm like, think, right, so when I eat, yeah, and I'm eating like my favorite baguette or my favorite, but like, I'm munching. Like,
You going in?
I'm
Yeah,
not ladylike.
you enjoying your
I'm
food? Yeah.
I'm munching. Yeah, like there's crumbs. I'm dropping crumbs. I've taken a really big bite full because it's so good, but I look like a monster eating this thing. Anyway, he kept catching me at this point. I'm like, this is really annoying me now.
Mm.
Why does he keep staring at me? And it's making me feel really
Of course, yeah.
uncomfortable. So I was like, okay, what that? Because I thought, oh, if he wants to come on, like, come on to me or whatever, but like, talk to me. Say hey,
Yeah, son,
not
like
just
don't.
stare.
Yeah, like what you creeping right now? Like what we doing,
Yeah.
bro? Like,
Like, what the hell? So anyway, right, he keeps looking. I'm like, I'm getting sick to death of this, right? So I'm like proper staring this guy out. What the hell does he think he's doing? There's me like chomping away, right? And then literally finish my bite. And so think like there's a good distance between us. I'm trying to figure
oh,
out how to
okay,
work
yeah,
this
yeah,
out, but it's gonna be hard on camera. So I'm like, right. So I'm like, oi. Literally, I went full ghetto mode. Oi. I'm like, who the do you think you're looking at? And then literally, he looked at me. He's like, are you talking to me? Like, really, like, really guy, like, really well spoken.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to you, and whatnot. And I was like, why do you keep staring? And then literally, he was just like, I keep staring because you've got a really long ladder on your leg, and I don't know if you know about that. And the worst thing is, some of that baguette that you're eating, some of the sauce has dropped on your leg too. I'm like, thank you for notifying me. And I legit got up and walked out. I left the rest of my burger and I just went. Luckily, this is the time, like, I mean, I still always carry a spare pair, but luckily I had a spare pair on me. I got changed straight away. But it was just like, why not say something to, I mean, one, I was like, why are guys like pointing and noticing? Normally, guys don't care about this stuff. Yeah, that's more of a
Yeah,
girl thing.
that is
But
true.
I was
Yeah.
like, that's a bit weird. But then I was like, bless this poor guy, right? It's like, you could have just come up to me and just sort of said, like, by the way,
Like I don't know
you
if you
stupid, messy
know, like.
person. Yeah. By the way, you got a long ladder in your ties and you got sauce on it too. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't great. Don't get me wrong, I've got worse stories. I just ain't gonna share them. But yeah, that was one of my
No,
most
but
funniest.
you know what? Yeah,
Literally, I
that's
was so red.
no, yeah, but and it's it's funny because I feel like when you say like an embarrassing story, it's not like it has to be something that's like super crazy. Like if something super crazy happens to you, like
Mm.
yeah, like that's one thing. But like
Oh yeah.
there's even like those random brief moments of just even having like an embarrassing moment where you're like, oh god, like it may have only been like 2 seconds, but those 2 seconds felt like an eternity in that moment because you're just like, this is so
Yeah.
awkward. Like I hate that feeling. You
Yeah.
know, like it's one of those things. Um,
Yeah. Especially when you shout at a guy across the bloody
yo,
cafe.
bro, so
This wasn't even like he was next to me. I'm like, "Oi!" And
funny.
everyone turned around and looked. That's the worst part. Is the fact that I was saying oi to everyone, not to this one guy. But yeah, so
Yo, you're not wrong though, because in those situations, it's like when someone shouts out loud, it's like you're gonna get everyone's
yeah,
attention. So I could literally just picture like,
yeah.
"Oi!"
Yeah, and you're like,
going up.
who's oing? Who are you oing at? Oh yeah.
That is amazing, bro. Oh my
That poor
god, dude.
guy.
Yo, right? And this poor guy's just like, damn, I don't want to put her on the spot, but
You know what the worst thing is? I remember a few weeks later, I saw him again in town.
stop,
I'm like,
bro.
I'm like, oh my god, legit. I've never ran so fast in heels to try and avoid someone. I was like, and literally everyone's looking at me like, where's this girl running? Because obviously naturally your heels make a lot of noise. So everyone's like literally listening to me running down, thinking like, oh my god, what the hell's going on? And it's like, no, it's just me trying to avoid another situation. Oh yeah, it was bad.
You know what would have been funny if it happened to work out that way? Could you imagine if it would have just been one of those moments where like that's how you guys meet and like fall in love? That would have
Oh
been
god,
very
yeah,
that would have been very funny though. Just because that story would have always been.
yeah,
So how'd you guys meet? So she cursed me the fuck out in a deli one time.
yeah,
Like what, bro?
yeah. Or because I wanted to tell her she had sauce on her legs because a stupid cow couldn't eat. So, yeah.
People hear that
By the
story.
way, for the record, people, I'm not that much of a messy eater. It's just that one day I was really
Yo,
enjoying my
son, when
burger.
you hungry, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
bro, I eat like a monster, okay, dude. When I'm
Yeah.
hungry, I don't share food.
I'm
Don't come over.
chowing.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Chowing down.
Best believe, bro. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So fair enough. Interesting. Okay. That's damn.
Yeah.
So and oh god, see, like that type of embarrassing story is very like embarrassing and very awkward in that sense because it's the fact that like you really thought you were about to put someone in their place and then it's like,
Yeah.
ah,
Trust me,
shit.
I was so pumped. I was like, let's go. How dare you stare at me and make me feel uncomfortable? I have a right to wear this. I was proper getting all feminist ready, all for him to turn around and just shoot me down.
Just
I
say,
was
hey,
like,
listen, I'm a great guy. I was just, concerned. It's just I didn't
yeah,
know what to say, but you have a terrible ladder in your nylons, and you got some
yeah,
sauce on your leg. It's like
yeah.
shit.
My smooth line would have been fancy clearing that up. But then at the same time, I didn't. You know what? I didn't feel smooth at this point.
Yeah,
I
because
was
at
like,
that
I
point
feel
you
like
you told this man off in the middle of a fucking cafe in front of
yeah,
everyone.
yeah, man. I've never been so red. I've never been so red. I even looked at myself and I'm like, who is a tomato in the mirror? I was like, oh, it's me. Embarrassed and ashamed. But yeah.
That's fucking great.
Oh
Oh god, that's
God.
great, dude. I'm trying to
Could have been a
think.
situation. Hey
Yeah.
ho.
I'm trying to think like what was an embarrassing story of mine one time. I think I would have to probably say like one of the most embarrassing things for me that I'm like comfortable sharing is like I think one time was I was so annoyed. I remember when I used to work for this one family
Mm.
for special needs and the it was they had a beach house. It was a very nice beach house.
Nice.
Yeah, it was quite nice. And then the beach was only like probably it was like a block away. Like if you were to like think of it like in a distance or whatever, so it wasn't like far, but it was like in the same complex. So like you weren't really like going across like main streets. It was like you were just in a complex, and then the beach was like right there. So it was really close. And
Yeah.
I remember one time um me, the girl I was dating at the time, because like she knew the boys that like we were working with as well. Um, and like a couple of friends or whatever, we were able to like go to the beach house to like for like a weekend or whatever to just like enjoy it. And
Mm.
I just remember it was during the winter. It was like about to be spring, so like it wasn't really like busy time. So I remember I fucking remember we were walking down the beach and it's like windy, it's a little rainy, like snowy, and we're just like, yeah, we're at the beach, like, oh, this is cool. Dude, and I remember thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be like so fucking cool and like fucking like run along the water, and I just like ran way too close and just busted my ass like fucking like on the shoreline. So I'm just running like, oh my god, we're at the beach. I just, bah, just fucking fall, and I'm just now drenched in fucking cold ass clothes in like the middle of winter or whatever it was, and just a rainy fucking day. And I'm like, thank God no one was here, like people wise. But
Yeah, yeah,
then it
yeah.
was still the fact that I had to now walk off this beach. All my friends are seeing me, and like the girl I'm dating at the time are all seeing me soaked, like covered in sand and water, and like a jacket and like pants and everything. And then we like get off the beach, and then of course, like for whatever reason, random group of people just walk right by, and I was like, this is great. I was like, this is great.
You should have
Like,
been like, I saved a turtle.
bro, what I should
That's
have.
why I'm
In
like
that
this.
in that moment, I couldn't even think a thing, but just being like, bro, I was like, I'm about to get sick. I was like, I'm just freezing and I'm about to get sick. Cause I'm just like, cause then at that point I'm like, bro, someone clearly saw me bust my ass on this beach somewhere. Like, cause then there's like a hotel not far from there. There's like some houses there. So I'm like, someone definitely just saw me go and just bust my ass, bro. I was like, this is so stupid. I was like,
Man.
this is so stupid, bro. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was dumb. It was
Oh
bad. It
man.
was dumb. I was so mad. And I just because I remember like the whole time thinking like I'm so embarrassed because like I'm just now covered in sand and like I'm wet and this is super annoying. But then on top of that, it's like we have to go back. I gotta like undress at the door, like because we can't really dirty the
Yeah.
house. So I'm just like, bro, this is ridiculous. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, bro. I was like, I hate myself right now.
Oh
I was like, I hate
God.
myself right now so badly.
Oh
Oh,
bless. I mean, to be fair, it could have been a lot worse. I think that's the kind of beauty about it is the fact that it didn't turn out to be a lot worse.
that is true.
Oh
Yes, that is true. But yeah, it wasn't a
man.
fun
But
time,
imagine if someone actually caught that on camera.
bro. That's what I'm saying. I
Oh.
was like, could you
Oh.
imagine if that in like that one of those like viral video moments, like someone just happened to be recording out their window or something, and they just see a guy just fucking running and just bust their ass on the beach? Because first of all, what do you even do on the beach? It's fucking middle of winter. Get the fuck off the beach. I was like,
True.
why are we
True.
on the beach? But then I'm like over here being like, I'm gonna run along across the water and fucking just bust my ass, bro.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah.
annoyed.
I hear that. Oh man. Oh bless. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do if I was in your situation. Legit, I would think of everything that I could be like, right, saving someone maybe, but then I should be all wet then.
But
Like it should
and
just
and
be the
that's the
front half of
thing.
me.
And that's the thing. And you know what's so ridiculous too about it is that, bro, it's like this is like I think like maybe February. So it's like no one's on the fucking beach. Who's gonna be in the water? No one. So it's like, what the fuck were you doing at the beach? Like, I got nothing for you. I don't know what to say
Saw a
right now.
raccoon. Joey style, I saw a raccoon
Bro,
that needs to be saved.
I don't. I could have. I could have came up with the most elaborate lie in that moment if that opportune moment happened. I would have just said the most bullshit thing that would have came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I was saving a fish.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
fish lives in the ocean. I don't know. Hey, random
Yeah.
fish just got onto. Eventually it would have just turned into
Yeah.
guys. I saved a dolphin. Like listen, man. If I'm gonna share.
Came up on
If I'm
shore.
gonna make up a lie, I might as well look good. Like, bro, why do you
True.
look so
True.
crazy right now? Hey, man, you won't believe what happened. Let me tell you. I'm fucking
Yeah.
saying the most ridiculous story I could think of, bro.
Yeah. You see, mine would be like, you don't think about it now. I'd make it so like, oh, I'd be like, do you know what? I don't know. I woke up like this. 1 minute I was at the house, and next minute, oh my god, I'm like, where am I? Oh, I would be, oh my god, I'd love to do something. And then everyone would be like, well, what happened? I was like, I don't know.
I don't
I was
know.
like, I was sitting down, I was having tea, and oh, I landed like this. Oh, honestly, I would. Oh yeah. Oh, chunks, man. This
Yeah.
would have been so much fun.
Oh yeah. That would have been good, right?
God.
That would have been fucking great.
That would have been. It would have been.
Um,
Oh
but I
God.
was gonna say, so apparently we have a couple
Yeah,
embarrassing stories. Let's hear them. I would
we
love to see what
do.
what we got here. Again, of course, guys, we're
We
not gonna share names
do.
unless like you want to. That's one thing is up to you, but we're not gonna share names because at the end of the day, everyone's privacy is their own privacy, and if someone's willing to share something, that's on them. So we're still gonna respect that.
Yeah. So first one. Obviously they haven't shared a name.
Okay, fair.
So a little bit, little story about well, a little. Okay. Anyway, right. I'm not gonna start there. Right. So 4 years ago, I was sleeping by a woman who was just a contact from where I was working for 2 weeks. So she accepted to let me a room for these 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um, every morning she left home earlier than me, even before this person woke up.
Mhm.
As usual, was sleeping in my tights and woke up in nylons to have breakfast before dressing and going to work. So one morning I was with my coffee on the couch when I heard the door opening. I was too late to get back to my room. She says her big hello and came into the living room to cheers me, saying she'd forgot some keys. So in my head was like, oh, what do I do now? Just make it look normal. She came over, said hello, saw my tights, and I see that she didn't know what to think about. Turned around and just left again with her keys. She never she never asked me anything about it, but obviously as you know, that person saw that she was
Of
intrigued.
course, yeah.
So yeah, and they put like, oh, obviously this person was 22 and she was around 45. I was
Oh,
like,
so it
oh
was
my
yeah, it
God.
was definitely like, oh shit, like he's really young, like she's older, so it's like what is happening? Like, oh
Yeah.
man, that's awkward, yeah.
So literally, it's like I like reply back, sort of saying like, "Oh, look." Also, so obviously, said, thank you for sharing. So it's like also intrigued to know. She said anything to you about it after, and it was like, "No, never." Obviously, at the last day, obviously went to a restaurant to thank her for her hospitality, but it just never came to discussion. So he's like, "Oh, in my head, it was like, shall I tell her about what she saw? Should I just keep it quiet?" Basically, it was just kept quiet
Yeah.
and whatnot. They've never like mentioned it since. But yeah, what would you do, especially if you're like a private wearer? Like
Yeah, that's a big thing
that's
we've
your
talked about.
space,
Yeah.
isn't it? Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
that's
know what to do. I'd be like,
I mean,
that's like go on.
no, I mean, it would also go based off the reaction. Like, clearly she noticed. Clearly she was like,
Yeah.
"Wait a minute, what's going on?" But then she was like, "You know what? Like, he obviously didn't
Yeah.
expect me. You know, maybe she even knew like he must be embarrassed. That she's like, listen, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
entertain it. We'll just gonna keep going. I gotta go. Bye. Like that's that. There's
Yeah.
some people who are just like that, but and then also makes you wonder, like, yo, I wonder, like, she's always thought about it too, to be like, what was he wearing? Like, what,
Yeah.
does he wear other things? Like, because you know, people get curious, people fucking think, you know. So
Exactly.
that's damn.
Exactly.
But that sucks though from his point because it's like, dude, that's so awkward because yeah, it's dude, especially because it's
Yeah.
one of those things where you're sitting there and you're like, I'm a I'm enjoying my morning, enjoying my nice little cup of coffee, just hanging
Yeah.
out in my nylons, you know, just because no one's home, I got my freedom, and then
Yeah.
boom, and it's like, fuck me, dude, like,
Oh, but can you imagine if it was like worst case scenario, right? Like you're wearing your hosiery, but like no underwear,
oh
nothing
my
else
god,
really
yeah,
go like
like, yeah,
things are
dude,
on show. And you imagine like, yeah, if I'm like lounging around just in like say like in my lingerie and like my nylons and I'd be like, oh my God, someone's like just literally what the hell? They're seeing a bit too much of me at
that's
this moment in
that's
time.
that's like fucking with the Friends episode when Rachel puts on that fucking lingerie for the guy she dated, and then the parents happen to come
My God,
home.
yeah.
Oh my god, bro, could you imagine?
London
Like,
is not ready for this.
bro, could you imagine? Like,
Oh yeah.
it's
God.
like that. It's like, bro, like you're expecting this
Mhm.
one thing to happen, you're so excited, and then boom, and it's
Yep.
like, wow,
Yep.
like, bro, in that moment, like, yo, bro, you just feel like dying. Like, depending who you are, you're just like, bro, I don't want to be here right now.
Yep.
Like, this is terrible. So,
I'm
oh
like,
yeah, dude.
swallow me, something,
I
swallow me
just,
up right now.
I just something, just out of here. Just get me
I
out of
need
here.
to go.
Oh no,
Oh
that's
gosh.
like definitely embarrassing. That's definitely gotta be embarrassing. Oh shit, bro. Oof.
No, honestly, honestly. So we have another one.
Okay.
So this is from Josh.
Okay.
So, so, but obviously he's got one, but nothing crazy.
Okay.
So I was on the bus. A girl comes on wearing black tights. She sits in front of me and starts shoe playing. Oh yeah, yeah, I do that as well, especially in like I try not to in public places, but you know, especially when you're wearing like flats or like a nice pair of heels, you just wiggling my foot. So
Yeah.
I hear that. I see where this is going. So I stretch my legs out, and she touches my shoes with her nylon foot. I like the feeling, so I slipped off my shoes, and she ends up touching my foot, not knowing. Fast forward, she gets up to get off at a stop, sees what's happening, gives me a nasty look, and then gets off because I felt so embarrassed, but I enjoyed it. Oh, Josh.
I mean,
Oh,
that is
Josh.
so that is embarrassing because obviously, like in that moment, I mean, he's probably thinking clearly she knows what she's doing. You know what I mean? Like clearly she knows what
Yeah.
she's doing. But then it's awkward because then you then realize like, oh, she did not know what was happening,
No, she did not
and she's
know.
not a fan. Like, shit.
No,
Like, damn,
she's not
this is
down.
bad. This is bad. Like, fuck, this is bad.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't know. Do you know? I wouldn't know what to do if that happened. If like literally, if I'm doing that, like I'm shoe dangling or I'm just like flipping flopping out my shoe or whatever, and like someone just puts their like foot there. Yeah. If I wanted, I wouldn't know what to do.
And because
Yeah,
that's the
I
thing, bro.
wouldn't know what
Everyone's
to
gonna
do.
react different. So you're like, I
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, bro. A lot of times you're kind of hoping it would be like best case scenario. You never know, but problem is too
this is
though,
how we fell
bro.
in love.
Bro, at the end of the day too though, you never know. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Some people react to certain things so much worse than it needs to be. Which to you
yeah,
it may be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but to them they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, bro, you never know.
yeah.
It's one of the worst things, bro. You got to be careful with that shit. But I mean,
It's true.
Josh, I know you loved it. I'm sure you were like, "This is awesome." Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, bro. Let's be honest, bro. For a lot of people, and it's the truth of it, and forever who don't want to admit it, whatever. But a lot of people would love to be in a moment like that. A lot of people would be like,
Mm,
"This is fucking dope," and then of course hope that it's like best case scenario. Thankfully, it
yep.
didn't. It wasn't anything worse, but I can only imagine because, especially because he, in his head, he must have been like, "Oh man, like this is incredible. Like obviously
Yeah.
clearly she knows what she's doing. Maybe she doesn't,
Yeah.
but still, but like my foot is right there. Like I'm sure she feels me, and then all of a sudden it's like the fuck, like oh no, like
Yeah.
damn, just dream world shattered, like just done.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know what? Oh my god! Just thinking about it now, if that happened, right? Just say if I was Josh, I would look at her and give her a filthy look, to be like, ah,
You started it, bitch. Like just turn it around on her. Don't you touch me. Like, I'm telling you, bro. You switch it real quick. That's how you do it. How dare you? And just walk away. Just real quick. Just walk away. It's the best way to do it,
how funny that would be.
bro. That'd be fucking hilarious. I can't even lie. That would be so funny.
God, literally, because I could visualize it in my head, and I'm like, oh my god, can you just imagine that she's giving a dirty look to be like, ew, but like
And then
Josh goes on right back to be like, ew, like who the hell do you think you are? Oh god, oh god, oh gosh, that's quite funny.
girl just gives a look. You
Oh,
look at her, bitch. You ain't even that pretty. And just walk away. Like,
mm-hmm, uh-huh.
oh,
Like, please.
that'd be insane though. That'd be so fucking
Oh,
crazy.
honestly,
I'm not gonna lie.
honestly.
If I witnessed that whole thing, I'm dying of laughter. I'm genuinely dying of laughter. I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, she really gave this man a dirty look. This man turned around her, was like, oh, to you, and just walked away.
Yeah.
Like, okay, okay.
Oh gosh.
That'd be
Oh,
so fucking
honestly,
funny though. I can't even lie.
honestly.
That would be so funny.
It would. It would. It would. Honestly, there's so many situations, right? where like even like me and my sister joke about it to be like, oh, so for instance, right, she has sometimes like my sister has road rage, right?
Oh God.
Like effing blind and whatever. Like she's not too bad now, but like it'd be so funny because it's like, oh, like sometimes I can't think that quick on the spot,
Yeah.
and like
Oh.
I always think of a good comeback right after, and I think why? So you know what I've resorted to now. I've resorted to like either laughing at myself, acting crazy and foolish, or I just stare them out. I literally anytime someone because it happened to me once, right? I parked up in a shopping car park and I couldn't think quick off the spot. And it was a last bay, right? I didn't realize it was a parent and baby bay, right? Because it just wasn't signposted properly.
Oh.
And
Okay.
like you know when like the paint, it wasn't like
Oh
the
yeah.
paint
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like basically not there. Like
Yeah.
you could kind of make it out, but it wasn't like visible,
Of
right?
course. Yes.
And so I just assumed it was a normal spot.
Yeah.
And like so like this woman's like just probably like, oh my God, what the hell? Blah blah. And I'm just like staring at her. And I'm like, wide eye staring at her. And she's probably like, oh my God. Blah, blah. And then you see her slowly calm down. Cause then I started doing like this. And then I literally was like, ah! She looked at me, she rolled up her window, literally looked at her kid and just drove on by. The worst thing was I had to avoid her the whole shopping trip because I was like, if she sees me not like touching my head and making random noises, she's gonna be like, oh my God. But yeah, I resort to that now. I resort to like just acting like a fool because what can people do? Nothing. What can they say? Nothing. What would you say?
What you mean? What I?
Honestly.
If I'm being honest, and if I'm driving by watching this situation, I'm gonna be like, this bitch is crazy. This bitch is psycho. She is plumb loco.
That was not the point.
She's
I,
about
I
to
really wanted
fuck
to try
this
it
woman
out.
up. I was like, bro, I would have watched that whole situation. Be like, go ahead, bitch, get out the car. She about to fuck your shit up. Go ahead.
Oh
What?
yeah, honestly. Oh, my next one is actually I want to get out the car and slowly walk to someone and like act like a fool. But yeah, we'll see if that ever happens. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll avoid all these scenarios. So I don't need to act like a fool. But
I'm about to say, like, bro,
yeah.
you sound like you planning this right now. Like Sony's like, I'm about to go cut someone off right now, just so I could do this. Like, well, Sony got some issues that
I'm
we
not
gotta
that bad,
resolve.
honestly. Yeah. But that's what I mean. I'd rather not resort to like effing and blinding at someone or
Oh
arguing
no,
with
of course,
someone.
yeah, of course.
Mine's is just like, let me try a different tactic where no one's gonna really question me. So no one does.
It's the best way. That's the best way.
Yeah.
That's why I actually remember one time this guy was like trying to like start shit with me or something over some dumb shit. Like guys like to try to be tough or whatever. And I remember I just threw him off because I said the most random thing, and then he just kind of gave me a look and just walked away. But it's like because for me it's like I'm not a fighter. Like I will always say I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. I don't like to argue. I don't like to fight. I don't, bro. Like I don't believe in wasting my time doing that shit. I just don't like it. So if someone that's like for whatever reason copping an attitude with me, trying to start shit with me, bro, I just try I just try to make everything into a funny situation, or I'll just try to make jokes or just try to laugh or whatever. And this one time something happened or whatever, and like the guy got in my face and he was just like, oh, you think this shit is funny? And I literally was like, yo, I'm just gonna pretend to be crazy essentially. So like I said, like, because I said something, I think I kind of like made a joke about it, and then he was like, oh, you think that's fucking funny? And I think I think what I said was just like well, you know, man, it is pretty funny, but the problem is though is that if I don't get home in 30 minutes, then the Easter Bunny's gonna come kill my mother, and then at the end of the day, Santa's not gonna bring me a present that I then obviously can't take to Rumpelstiltskin. And he was just like, and I just looked at him and I was like, he just like, the fuck is going on? And he looked at me and he was just like, you're crazy. And I looked at him and I went, well, that's not very nice. And then I just walked away. Fucking just
Very nice.
bro, just fucking be random, bro. No one knows what to do. Like,
yeah, exactly. Throw them off. But yeah, oh man.
that's why me and my friends used to have a joke, like not a joke, but like a stupid thing we would do is because we would do it in front of other people to see if like how they would react. So the whole point,
yeah.
the whole point is you literally say really nice things about them in a really aggressive tone. So like me and my boys would like meet up with one another and they'd be like, bro, I just want to let you fucking know your fucking shoes are fire, bro. Like just like,
Oh, okay.
like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
sound like you're gonna curse him out, but it's like you're really like giving him a compliment. So it'd be funny because we do this shit in public, so people would be like, huh? Like, because you know you hear aggressive tone, you're gonna think, oh, it's a fight,
Yeah,
but then
yeah,
you
yeah,
just hear
yeah.
loving comments, and you're like, what's happening right now? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. I'm not gonna lie. So it's the best. It's fucking best, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna try. Oh, I'm gonna try that now. I'm gonna try that in public with someone now.
It's so funny because it throws
Oh
people like,
gosh.
especially if it's like someone you like know really well. So you could be like, yo, I just want to let you fucking know, bro. You have a great fucking kid. You have an amazing job, and your wife is gorgeous. Okay, and it's like, what? Like, you're just saying
Yeah.
really
Like,
nice
huh?
things about the person. Like, what do you mean, bro? No, it's just you just give him an
Oh
attitude.
gosh.
You just give him an attitude with some beautiful comments. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I want to try that one time. Oh gosh.
Like, because that's
Oh
why
yeah, I know exactly who to try it on as well. Yeah.
you know, Sony just playing and shit out here, guys. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Sony just
man.
got plans.
No, no, no. This is the only plan. I have this whole conversation. This is the only plan. I like to make that crystal clear. I'm not out here trying to be psycho. Have fun, yes, but not psycho.
Oh, wow. Oh, as long as we're having fun, guys. Like, I think it's fun. Like, like okay.
Oh gosh.
Too fucking funny. But
Oh, honestly.
I think that's a good way to end it though, guys. I think today's
Yes.
been a very fun episode, man. Today's been really, really amazing, bro. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. If y'all want to share
Hmm.
more, you know, you're more than welcome to. We would love to read them. We'd love
Yes,
to
please
talk about
do.
it because that'd be fun. Um,
Please do.
but yeah, we'll see y'all next week. As always, guys, we appreciate y'all. For everyone that is signed up to the Patreon, we do apologize that no videos have been up. We are coming out with some videos. Life has just been a little crazy. But stay tuned. There will
Yep.
be more content coming onto the Patreon very soon, especially with St. Patrick's Day coming up. I kind of figured we would do a fun little thing for something
Yes.
for the Patreon, so that'd be fun. But yeah, guys, until next week, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all as always, man. And y'all take care. And of course, guys, just stay tuned for the question section coming up, man. So we'll see you guys next week. Much love, guys. Welcome, guys, to the question section. As always, man, we appreciate y'all being here. It just turned into it. I don't know. Like I was thinking
Yeah.
about changing the name to
Right.
something, but then I don't know why. I'm just like the question section just kind of rolls off the tongue. I
Yeah.
don't know. So
It works.
we'll keep it for now. Why not? Fuck it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But Sony, you got some questions for us today. Let's hear them
Yes.
out. Let's see.
Yeah, right. So one of them is, which I think is quite funny.
Okay.
Well, not even funny, fitting. So, is there a proper way for a man to compliment a woman's tights without sounding like a creep?
So funny enough, of course, that's always a question that
Yeah.
I've thought of myself too.
Mm.
Because no, it's true, bro, and it sucks because honestly, not even tights or nylons alone. I think it's always hard for a man to just compliment a female in general, especially nowadays. Everyone takes
Yeah.
everything the wrong way. Everything is seen the wrong way, and it's a little annoying because everything is kind of seen at face value. You know, like
Mm.
if a guy were to compliment a girl and be like, "Yo, like that dress looks amazing on you," you know, yes, there's certain ways to compliment. There's certain ways to say things to, obviously, but it's also annoying because then it's like, if you're kind of like a socially awkward person and you tend to say things that maybe most people would be like, well, that was weird. Why'd you say it like that? But the problem is, though, is that sometimes it doesn't mean that they're trying to meet it in a worst way
Yeah.
possible. They're trying to maybe just meet it in a different way. So it sucks because, like, for me, like, I could be very outgoing and I'd like to connect with people. So when I feel like I'm cool with people, like, I start talking stupid. Like, I just act funny. So, like, if I, like, you know, if I were to compliment, like, a female's, like, look or something, you know, I'd be like, bitch, you look fire. Like, you know, but, like, just trying to say, like, you look good. But a girl might take it
Yeah.
as, like, oh, what does he mean by that? Like, why is he saying it like that?
Yeah.
What is he looking at? Like, it's how people perceive things. It's how people accept things. It's how
Yeah.
people say things. There's a lot of things to it. The issue is, though, is
No,
that,
I agree.
especially because it's very funny because I feel like nylons are a big deal to some people, but the nylons aren't a big deal to others. So for you to specifically point out nylons would be
Yeah.
a weird thing to some people. So I feel like that, because especially if it's a guy, I don't know, where to be like, oh, I think your nylons look really nice. Like they make your legs look great. Girls could take that in so many different fucking ways, which sucks, of
Yeah.
course. But I also
Yeah.
feel like if you really wanted to compliment, you could just simply just a very basic, simple thing, be like, "Hey, your nylons are really nice." Like that's that. Just leave it at that. Um, if you wanted to try to pursue something after that, because maybe the girl's attractive or whatever, kind of see how she takes that compliment and go from there.
Mm.
Realistically, um, but that's the problem, bro. Nowadays, you got to be fucking careful about what you say to like anyone. Like
Yeah.
that's the issue. Everything gets taken about so many different ways out of context, and it sucks. It sucks a lot. Like like a lot of times people,
Yeah.
and it sucks because like I've even been in those awkward situations where I've me being a photographer simply asking, "Hey, would you ever be interested in modeling for photo shoots?" That's a very fucking basic question, but I've been in situations where a girl has been
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean? Model for photo shoots?" That's literally what I just fucking meant. Like, why did you think it was like the most negative, whatever weird thing that I'm about to ask you? Like, literally, bro, like, I'm a photographer. I can show you sample photos. This is my portfolio. Like, that's that. The worst
Mm.
part is because, and it's not like I would just ask this to some random girl in the street. Like, it would be like someone that like
Yeah.
I started to talk to, grow a connection with, have a friendship with, or I thought we'd have like a friendship with, to then be like, hey, I'm a photographer. I'm always looking for people to do photo shoots. Would you be down to do a photo shoot? That's that. But then it turns into, oh, why are you asking? That's weird, blah, blah, blah. And that's the problem, is that so many people jump to assumptions. That's the issue. So I think that's another big problem too, is that a lot of people assume the worst. So you're like,
Yeah.
no, like, why are you thinking like, bro, why do you make it seem like as if I'm asking if I could take like naked photos of you in a fucking abandoned warehouse, like fucking by ourselves? Huh? Like, where is this coming from? Like, I
Yeah.
don't get it. That's what bothers me. That's the problem.
Yeah. No, I could. The thing is, from a guy's point of view, I can understand that because it is, especially in this day and age now, and it's one of those I can understand from both points of view,
Which
and
I
I
can
think
too.
that's
I totally
yeah,
get. That I totally get. But at the end of the day, it's
yeah,
still, why are you jumping to the worst conclusion possible?
yeah. No, I see your point, and I suppose it's. I see, yeah, it's down to that individual. I mean, I think the
And
best thing
that's
that you
true,
could
yes.
probably do, yeah, I think the best thing that you can do is look at their body language. I think that's the biggest thing is don't just come out saying something without anything like to it. Because I remember one time, like, so it was a friend, right, who was asking. It's probably the worst story, but whatever. And he asked me, "Oh, would you mind modeling for some photo shoots?" And obviously, because he knew that I was into hosiery and stuff, and I was like, "Look, I've got some amazing ways that we can actually put hosiery into X, Y, Z, blah blah blah. It'd be look really amazing, da da da, and whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, cool." And then I remember he asked later down the line, he's like, "Oh, do you mind like if I could take like your measurements?" I'm like, measurements for? Like, what the hell? It's like, oh yeah, just from clothes fittings and stuff. I was like, I can get my own clothes. Like, I don't need help with that. Like, do you not know how I can dress myself compared to some of your other models? And then, long story short, basically, and this is the flip side of it.
Of course, yeah.
Basically, he turned out there were some people, right? That he had a lot of different models, right, from a lot of different ages and stuff. Like mainly 16 above, yeah, between
Mm-hmm.
16 to 30 minimum, right? And some of the girls that I knew, and then I didn't realize until years later, basically, there was a whole thing about him. He actually got girls to send him videos of, basically nude videos
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
be like, oh yeah, I need to see, like your whole body shape, how you
Oh,
walk,
okay,
this, that.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
do
yeah.
bikini videos, you need, your body needs to look okay. Have you got any like birthmarks or anything? And it was like, honestly, it was a massive thing. And like, luckily, like I stopped talking to this guy years ago, way before I found out about this, because somebody contacted me saying, oh, your name seems really familiar, but I think this might be you. Did you know about this? Blah, blah, blah. Basically, ring this number
That's
because it's attached
crazy.
to his case. And it ended up being, I remember at one point it was wildfire. There were so many women who basically spoke out against him to say he tried this, he did this, he asked this of me. So naturally, from a female perspective, especially, when you think, okay, look, it's, it's a photographer, look for models. Oh my God, this might be a big break. Oh my God, he thinks I'm model material. You can understand that and that naivety in that. But this is the thing. It's obviously this is just one scenario. Do you know what I
No,
mean? It's not,
exactly. Yeah.
like I said, not every photographer is like that, because I've worked with people who are nothing like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it is just, yeah, you can understand. But in terms of, sorry, I'm gonna try and put it back to the question now. But in terms of like trying to compliment a woman wearing nylons, I think the best thing that you can probably do is compliment her whole
Mm-hmm.
outfit and say, look, like, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I just really want to say, I actually really love this outfit on you. I think it looks really, really nice. Or it complements your face, or it complements, like, I probably wouldn't say body shape because it looks like you've been staring too hard. But I'd probably say, yeah, it really complements you. But especially, I love the way your nylons bring everything
Oh yeah, that's a
together.
good way to like slip it in
So
there.
it's
Yeah.
something where it's not completely nylon focused, because you think,
Mm-hmm.
I get, look, men obviously like certain body parts. There's a lot of leg men out there, which is cool, but it's the way you say it,
Exactly. Yeah.
yes, makes a massive difference. If you're just gonna like stare at my legs, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're making me feel a bit uncomfortable because you're not saying anything, you're just staring. But if you sort of come up saying like, look, hey, I just didn't want to, I don't want to disturb you, or I just wanted to come up and compliment you. And like, I love the way that your outfit looks, but I love the way the nylons bring stuff together. Or actually, I love these nylons with your outfit. I never would have, like, and say like, oh, I think my wife would look amazing in this, or my girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? Because then it naturally puts that woman at ease. Because she's not instantly going to think, oh, he's gay.
No.
It's more
Yeah.
sort of like he
Yeah.
might be asking, yeah, he might be asking for like the other half or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's little things like that make it, n- h- yeah, make it easier to say something. Because I've had it where guys have come up and said like, oh my God, look, like, especially when I did a networking event last week, and it's like I did a whole red and white outfit, and they were like, I love this outfit, but I love the way your red tights have brought everything together. And I'm like, oh, thanks so much, like, I really thought so too. And we had a massive conversation about it. But I'm very open like that, whereas I
Yes.
know
Exactly.
not a
Yeah.
lot of women are. So yeah, so I think it's just the way you say it, but and the way you word it. I
Yeah.
think
That's the
that's
thing. Yeah.
the biggest thing.
And
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I can see it from a woman's perspective as well. Like why? Like well, not.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say random guy because of course, like I said, like it's like I like had a connection to these people in some sort of way. So it's
Mm.
like it's not that it's like random, but it's true. Obviously, if you don't know me like that, at the end of the day, it's like okay, we've
Yeah.
known each other for some brief time. Then all of a sudden, this guy's asking for a photo. That I completely understand.
Yeah.
I obviously get that point. To me, it is a shame at times where, sadly, because of society, sadly because of other people,
Yeah.
you can't blame these people or females or whoever to think these things because
Yeah.
they've seen it in society, which sucks. It fucking blows, dude. Like it's terrible. So
Mm.
that I completely get. That I understand, and that is the sucky part of it. But just like what you said, Sony, there's a way to be able to say it with a certain way, a certain
Yeah.
tone, in a certain style that it could, in the best way possible, not come off in a creepy, terrible way. It can literally come off as a
Yeah.
compliment for sure. There's definitely ways. It's just like you said, it definitely is always up to the individual. That's a big thing too. So
Mm.
that is
Mm.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. And then could we one more question? Can we do
Yeah,
one more
why not?
question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really random. Okay. Um. So when did you get and or give your first feet worshipping session?
Interesting.
Yeah. I haven't. So
but see, I don't like. That's like asking something very specific. Like saying like a
it
feet
is, yeah.
worshiping session. Like the thing is like I could never say that
Yeah.
like I've given a feet worshiping session, but I can say that like I've definitely like appreciated feet in the moment. Like you know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
like that like because you were saying specifically like a feet worshiping session. That's very something specific. That is literally saying that you are
Mm.
literally sitting there worshiping someone's feet, blah blah blah, this and that. Where you can appreciate someone's feet while you're in the middle of doing certain activities, of course. So I think that's what it is. So realistically, I would have to say like I've never done that,
Yeah.
but I've appreciated a feat. Like, yeah, like that's the best way I could say it, I guess. Like, like, but Sony, you know, you never had any guy? No, you never been like, here you go.
With my slippers on. But no, actually, no. That's what I mean. I wanted to throw you off with a question. And I did that. Thank you. Um but yeah, no, I can't say I have. Don't get me wrong, like a lot of people have asked, but no, one,
Oh, wow.
because
Excuse me, Sony. I
like
didn't realize they lined up the door.
oh,
Excuse me.
of course. But no, I think one, it's just because I've never really done it, I don't really know what to expect. I don't really know how it goes. Two, it's a meeting person. I'm a very busy, like really busy
Yeah,
person.
fair enough.
I don't have time. And three, it's also the safety element for me as well. It's the fact that, like, look, I get obviously it's just like mainly probably a one-to-one thing that it might occur. But to
Yeah, yeah.
me, it's like, well, actually, you know what? I don't really know you. Yeah, your intentions might be just, I'm just here for this and this
Of
only.
course,
But
yeah. No, but you
it's
never
going
know.
back to literally
Yeah.
what we were just saying. Yeah, it could literally just be something so innocent. And someone's like, oh, actually, do you know what? Let me just take advantage of the situation. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's that element to be like, if I was to
And
ever do it,
you hear those stories. It's a
yeah,
fucking shame, dude. It's a fucking shame.
yeah, exactly. But I would need a bodyguard at like by there. Like, I'm like, you know what? My bodyguard's here. Like,
Don't mind
there's
them.
no way,
Just
like, there's no way.
do what you
Yeah,
got to
don't
do.
mind
Don't
him.
mind them.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's like I get people who do it all the time. Like that's cool. But to me, it's like, look, I don't really know what this entails. I don't really know what pops off. Prime example, going into the hosiery world. Oh my god, it opened my eyes to so much and so much I never knew about.
Yeah, bro, it's
And that's the
crazy.
thing. It was like, luckily, it was all behind the screen, so I could take my time and look at stuff. But imagine if something's happening there, face value. How am I going to react? Do
Oh
you know
no,
what I
yeah,
mean? So it
exactly.
is
Especially if
just,
you're not used to it, you don't really understand it. It's gonna throw
yeah,
you off, bro, for sure. You're gonna be like, "This is
yeah,
an interesting predicament. I don't know what to do right now." Like that's understandable, very
yeah.
understandable. That's for
Yeah.
sure. No, that's
And
definitely for sure.
yeah. And I always do find like this is obviously not all men, but a lot of men that I've spoken to, they like to push boundaries a lot.
Yeah, that's a big shame too. A lot of
So
guys
that's one
sometimes,
thing
yeah,
I don't like. Because that's why I said it's like it could just literally just be something as innocent like, look, I'm having a foot washing like worshiping session. It could be half an hour. They're like, oh, can you do an extra like 5-10 minutes? And they'll be like, well, no, because I don't have time. And then it'll be, oh, but can I like, they'll like, sometimes I'll cheekily ask and you think, no, look, cool, like here are my boundaries and you respect that. But there's so many times I've had so many different conversations with people, they really push boundaries. And you only think, can you stop? Like,
yeah, no, yeah,
get the hint. I'm like, I'm putting like I'm covering my answer in cotton wool here, like, but get the hint.
yeah.
Like, do you really want me to be that blunt? So yeah, it's just yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. I don't know if I ever would do it, to be honest. But if I ever did, if being the key word here, people, if I would charge buckage, I would be like, do you know what? Like, because I see it as, you know what? I've got to make my way to wherever I've got to go. It's like time out of my business, time out of my work, and whatever to go do it. And it's like, gotta hire my bouncer, gotta have a guy there. He ain't gonna be cheap. So, yeah, yeah,
I respect it. I respect
yeah.
it.
Hey, I'm honest and open and transparent here. So at least you know if I ever do it, you'll be paying bucket. It ain't gonna be like £50
Hey man,
or like £20
listen,
or whatever.
respect, bro. At least you honest, respect.
So
That's it. That's it.
yeah, yeah. So
That's
so
so funny.
yeah, yeah. So no, I haven't done it. No.
To answer your question, no.
Yeah,
All
no.
right. Oh god, I can't. Oh guys, man, this has been great. So I hope you all enjoyed the. I was gonna say appreciated because I definitely appreciated today. This was funny, bro. This was a very funny episode.
This is a great
This
episode.
this is a very funny episode today, guys. I love episodes like
Hmm.
this. So I hope y'all appreciate it. But listen, man, we obviously hope y'all enjoyed it. We love y'all, man, as
Yeah.
always. Y'all take care, guys, and we'll see you guys next week for another episode and for another question section, man. So until then, y'all take care, guys. Have a good one.